All right, so Democratic strategist James Carville has been going around to different networks, yelling, screaming about socialism, trying to fearmonger about Bernie Sanders. Right here, Anderson Cooper is going to ask Bernie Sanders about Carville, and Bernie Sanders goes absolutely savage.
James Carville, who's obviously a longtime Clinton loyalist, was supporting Senator Michael Bennet, who obviously dropped out of the primary race last night. He said this week that core Democratic voters aren't interested in being in what he said a cult. He said they're not interested in socialism and revolution and other things he called foolishness, and that, quote, "I don't know how you win an election 78 years old screaming in a microphone about the revolution." I don't know if he was actually screaming at the time, although it's very possible, knowing James. But so I want to give you a chance to respond.
Look, James, in all due respect, is a political hack who said very terrible things when he was working for Clinton against Barack Obama. I think he said some of the same things. Look, we are taking on the establishment. This is no secret to anybody. We're taking on the wall. I guess the former head of Goldman Sachs attacked me yesterday.
Yeah, he had
We're
some
taking on
things
Wall
as well.
Street. He did, yeah, Wall Street. And the insurance companies don't like me. And you know what? The pharmaceutical industry, which is charging us 10 times more for the same drugs they sell in Canada, they don't like me either. Nor does the fossil fuel industry, because their product happens to be destroying our planet. Nor does the military-industrial complex or the prison-industrial complex. We are taking on Trump, the Republican establishment, Carville, and the Democratic establishment. But at the end of the day, the grassroots movement that we are putting together of young people, of working people, of people of color, want real change.
But you know,
and they want us to take.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, though, it's not all, just establishment folks who have a vested interest. I mean, there are, American citizens who, went out to vote in New Hampshire and voted for Klobuchar or voted for Buttigieg or in some cases Biden, who just feel like revolution is, it's just too much. They maybe like their plans. They don't want their insurance taken away for something else in government hands they don't have, any idea about.
Well, first of all, I think if you look at the issues that we are talking about, raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour, enormously popular. Demanding that the wealthy and the powerful and large corporations start paying their fair share of taxes, enormously powerful and popular. Making public colleges and universities tuition free. As I said earlier, Medicare for all was one of the reasons we won in New Hampshire. It is very popular in New Hampshire, and I suspect among Democrats all over this country. Criminal justice reform, immigration reform. These are issues that the American people, in fact, support. And we're going to win this election because we are prepared to stand up to Wall Street and the corporate elite and finally do what the American people want.
Senator Bernie Sanders, appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so thank you to whoever put this up on Twitter. I will link it down below in the description. So Bernie Sanders says of James Carville, like, he's a political hack. He's never right about anything. When he was working with Clinton, and he was on Bill Clinton's advisory committee or whatever, he was an advisor and a Democratic strategist for him. But when he worked for Hillary, he said terrible things about Obama as well. Obama actually once said Carville is a hack that truly doesn't know what's coming out of his mouth. He just likes to spout off like an angry old man. And Bernie Sanders brings in that old FDR type rhetoric, saying he welcomes their hatred because these people who are speaking against Bernie Sanders, who, by the way, they're giving a false sense of credibility. They're bringing them on, showing them to the viewers and saying, this guy is very important in the Democratic Party, so therefore you have to listen to him. And then they have these guys come on and say, socialism will kill all the babies. And they have that false credibility. But Bernie Sanders brings up great points. All the people that don't like him are the same people that are pushing forward and perpetuating policies that are actively hurting American people and preventing progress. So he switches from this whole reality TV show on here, says, I'm going to bring it back to the grassroots level. And James Carville, we're going against him, the Democratic Party, the Republican Party, everyone, all the industries that we're fighting. Bernie Sanders, I mean, I guess he's done playing nice guy a little bit, except when it comes to his political rivals, because he'll say, well, they're my friend, and then go in. And Bernie Sanders said, with all due respect, he's a political hack, with all due respect. And that is the only respect Carville is due.